Hey everybody, it's Dustin. Welcome back into the mosh pit. I haven't created a video in a while. I had some stuff going on personally, and I just needed to take a little bit of a break to deal with some of that. I'm hoping to be able to create some videos, maybe not at the same cadence I was before, but continue to make some videos about subjects that come up that I really enjoy, which are creepy horror games and heavy metal. So I want to talk a little bit about Scorn because they recently had an update. They hired a new person to run their community management. Let's take a look at that. So on the Pulse Monthly they put out, they're calling it monthly, this is 1.0, because they committed in December of 2021 to giving us monthly updates about Scorn, about the progress that they're making in the game, and then also maybe do some dev interviews. Basically, community manager stuff. I don't know if you're too familiar with community managers, but basically their job is to interact with us, keep us updated, put out tweets and posts, things that the dev team just wasn't doing. And I don't know if it's because they're from a different country and it was maybe a little bit too much, or if they were just super focused on the game. Whatever it is, I'm glad that they have a new community manager. Said that they are glad to be joining the Scorn community and to reach out to them, I guess on social media. I don't think you're going to be reaching out to them through this post that they put up on Steam, but it is saying here that they have started the process and are continuing with monthly updates, at least monthly updates until October 2022, when the game is set to release. In December, as part of the Game Awards, I think it was, they announced the release date, which is coming up in October 2022. And I'm super excited for it. I mean, it's going to be definitely atmospheric. It's definitely going to be weird. Whether or not it's good, I guess, remains to be seen. But so far, so good on the visuals. And let's take a look at their post. Right off the bat, they were talking about the release. We wanted to ensure that Scorn is the best game it can be. Mysterious. Deliciously dark and oozing with atmosphere. Emphasis on the ooze. With that being said, the game will officially be launching in October 2022. This additional time will allow the team to make sure the vision for Scorn comes to life in all its spine-chilling, nightmarish glory. We know that this means a longer wait, especially for our fantastic Kickstarter community who have been with us since the very beginning. Still, we're committed to making Scorn the best experience possible for our players and fans. We're also excited to share with you our new release date teaser trailer. So, I thought we'd take a look at this teaser trailer together, and then I can comment on it here. I really like the audio. More than just the music and the chant sounds. You can see the pregnant bellies glowing red on these statues. And there's a character standing there looking at this giant statue, which is probably you. I'm assuming that's probably you. Scorn. Dun, dun, dun. I dig it. I really I think that is looking good. I mean, the visuals have never been a problem for me. It's really just a matter of what's the gameplay going to be like. The small amounts of gameplay that we've seen. There's been some active critics online about what they've seen, and really, I don't think there's been enough for us to really judge. No one's got their hands on it, and this all so far in development. And speaking of development, we have here a Spill Your Guts segment where they're talking to one of the devs who works in the art department, a 3D artist, Nicola, who works over at Ebb Software, and they go over kind of what they do in the company, how many artists they have on the staff. They've got 15 different artists, and they go into a little bit of tech detail, a little bit over my head as far as what all those artists do. But there's a bunch of people working on the atmosphere to not just make it Giger-esque, but also to bring it into a more organic and kind of creepy feel. One of the questions about midway through the article, it says, your art style has a great visual appeal and really resonates with the community. Is that something that you expected? How did that make you feel? And it says here, at first we couldn't believe how well the audience reacted to our work. How well, I mean, I think that there's a certain group of people that reacted really well to it, and other people were like, you know. For me, I was just like, hell yeah. It brings back Giger references for me, also Alien, and there's a heavy metal band back in the 80s called Celtic Frost. They used a lot of the Giger-inspired art. In fact, the singer for Celtic Frost ended up working for Giger right before he died, kind of helping him run his artwork. Not run the artwork, but run like the... There was a documentary about Giger. You'll see the guy who sings for Celtic Frost in that documentary, and he's kind of like the personal assistant to Giger before he died, helping him, book events and sell art and manage his house and things like that before he passed. And they ask, what inspires you aside from Giger when it comes to Scorn's visuals? Many different art forms, from painting, sculpture, architecture, and music inspire this unique look for our game. Nature and human anatomy have a tremendous influence, and we tend to incorporate as much as possible. Biology is an endless source of ideas when designing our models, and that's for sure. Because biology, when it comes to the human anatomy and also the world, there's a lot of really weird stuff that you can put together when everything is going to be organic and not made out of some metal or wood, and everything being organic and crafted through either bone or sinew is definitely got a lot of creativity if you think that direction. It's funny he says that music inspires. I'm wondering what music it is. I wonder if there's some heavy metal fans in there, or if there's also maybe some more moody industrial fans, that kind of thing. That wonder what kind of music they're listening to when they're making this. Now, in another segment on their update is called All the Gory Details, where they kind of go into how a section of the game was crafted from start to finish, and they show you some of the, like, before they built it, and they drew it out on storyboards here. This scene in particular, with a flying away, so you detach this little device which flies away, and then you're able to activate another device, and they have a video of it below, so I thought that we would play that just as a reference point. You can see here on this, which I'll get out of the way, you can see here that they've got everything drawn out, all the different arrows on where things should go and what they're looking for. And it says players can find these juicy hubs throughout the vast labyrinth. They become a central part of manipulating the environment around them to progress. Let's take a closer look at how that made its way into the game. And then they have a video here. So let's take a quick little view of this. So you can see this little guy just detached from the beginning section. You can't really see it here, but there's this little device that you were messing with that this guy detached from and then flew away. And it flies up top and goes in, which that in turn activates that section over there, which you can then go over to and put your hands into and turn. And I'm assuming this unlocks something. So there's that quick little cut there. All really cool. All really cool and super creative. I mean, this is not like normal, like flick a switch or move a box. This is some weird ass shit. And then lastly, here, I'll get out of the way for this. It says, this message comes from the CEO of Ebb Software. And I don't know, somebody can help me with the pronunciation on this, but I'm thinking it's Lubomir or Jobomir? I don't know. Peckler? Mr. Peckler, I'll say that. That's probably right. It could be Picklar for, I don't know. Any help would be appreciated. December has been a pretty huge month for us at Ebb Software. Not only have we been able to share our new release date, but we've also reached a significant milestone in our development, 75% of the content completion. I'd just like to give my deepest thanks to our community for your patience with our team here at Ebb Software, who have been working incredibly hard to pull everything together in a pandemic. Like any other game that comes out in the pandemic, it's just amazing. As we look ahead at the coming months, we'll be focusing on completing the final 25% of content, followed by bug fixing and getting the game ready for launch. We're very excited to get our game in players' hands and allow them to experience Scorn for themselves. And then going forward, a very final thing here is the community manager. I want to keep you informed at every step of the way during the final leg of the journey. These ongoing updates will be filled with a range of content, news, behind-the-scenes interviews, our team's sneak peeks at some work in progress assets, and most importantly, a check-in with development progress overall. So I have a feeling that the 25%, that's the hardest push, fixing the bugs. That's the toughest part, is fixing bugs, getting things wrapped, submitting it to Microsoft. This is going to be a Game Pass game as well as on Steam. So there's a lot going on in the last 25%, not just crafting the remaining assets, which they probably have all that complete. It's more about like making sure that when you go through a door, that the door closes and that you don't get stuck in it and that you don't fall through the world and all that stuff. So they're working on that really hard. I hope that it comes out in October 2022. I would not be surprised if it got pushed. It's definitely a great October game. Anyways, let me know in the comments below what you think of Scorn. I think this is going to be a pretty interesting game. No matter what, it's definitely unique. You can't argue that. It's definitely a unique game. And, maybe I'll put out some more regular videos. We'll see. I enjoyed making this one, and I enjoyed you watching it. So thanks, and I will see you in the next video.